Santa Claus would surely dare to face a wolf and polar bear, to brave the snow and winter air, 'cause he knows that little children care. Who puts the wings on reindeer paws? Who laughs at all the traffic laws? Who sees an iceberg when it thaws? Of course you know it's Santa Claus. Who climbs the chimney with a ho, ho, ho? Who fills its stockings in a row? Who kisses Mom neath the mistletoe? Of course you surely know it's Santa Claus. Children forget a world that's cold when the story's ever told of the tiny reindeer and Santa bold in his sleigh of shining gold. His world's a stage with all the joy, with gifts for every girl and boy, with a laugh and a song to warm each soul, 'cause Santa plays the starring role, who makes the herald angels sing music that's fit for the beast and king. With abandoned joy our troubles fling, in the lane the sleigh bells ring. Oh, lovely little Christmas tree, with candy cane and lights to see, what on earth would Christmas be if Santa Claus forgot the key? Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, ho, 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 hello, hello, hello. Allison and Marcy and Glen and Lynn and Andy and Joni and Casey too, Carol and Lily, I won't forget you. Merry Christmas, my dear children. This is Santa Claus. In the land of sunshine where there ain't no snow, the birds are singing and the bells are ringing, and Christmas Day is set for go. We'll have turkey and dressing and pumpkin pie, cake and ice cream and candy too, peanuts and popcorn, and ouch, my belly aches, and yours would too. This is Grandpa, if you have not already guessed. Thought we'd send you a tape instead of a letter. We appreciated your beautiful card and packages, and will open them Christmas Day. Thank you so much. I remember my first Christmas. It was my very best Christmas, I believe. We lived in a little town in Idaho, in a big two-story rambling house made out of log siding. In other words, you might say it was an old log cabin. It was warm and cozy. My mother was cooking all the goodies and the turkey and the sage and the pies, and the smells were so delicious that came out of the kitchen. But of course we all were attracted there to see what she was doing. In those days we opened our presents Christmas Eve. The beautiful colored lights were on, and it was dark outside, and the soft snow kept coming down. At a magic moment, a horse-drawn bobsleigh with the bells ringing on their harnesses drove up right in front of our house. And of course, being little, I thought it was old St. Nick. And much to my surprise, before my very eyes, who should come in but my own dear daddy, with the most beautiful and biggest brown and white collie I had ever seen. It was really a beautiful dog. And of course we became close friends immediately, as he was a very gentle, friendly dog and very playful. Needless to say, I didn't remember anything else but my new delightful friend. That night I tied him on the back porch and fixed him a bed and went to bed upstairs. The snow came floating down softly all night, and I was so excited I could hardly sleep. When I finally woke next morning, the whole world was white and quiet. I crept downstairs in my bare feet and pajamas to say good morning to my newfound friend. I had promptly named him St. Nick, Nicky for short. Nowhere was Nicky to be seen. His rope was chewed in two, and Nicky had escaped and disappeared in the night. I ran out in the snow, calling and crying and yelling for Nicky. I did not even notice the cold as I ran around the yard in my bare feet. Nicky was gone, but I had enjoyed him for the moment, and the memory of him still lingers on and makes that Christmas Day a memorable one.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Well, that was Grandpa's poem that he wrote especially for you for Christmas, for all of his little grandchildren, and I hope you liked it. I thought it was awfully cute. Now, we're having a nice, mild winter here, and last night it rained. We haven't had any rain all since fall, and so we really enjoyed it. It pittered and pattered on the roof all night, and this is Sunday afternoon, and I'm home from church, and we had a nice Christmas party. Not a party, but a nice Christmas program with a few talks and things, but next week's really going to be our Christmas program. But we've been having nice things all month, it seems like, and we've been to so many parties and everything. It's just been great. So we're all getting ready for Christmas. Now, this is Grandma Clawson, and that was Grandpa Santa Clausen that told you the poem. Wasn't that great? I think I'll tell you about my most important and most memorable Christmas that I can remember when I had time to think of it. It was the one that when my grandpa and grandma came to our house for Christmas. We lived down in Old Mexico in Garcia, Colonia Garcia, and we lived in a little house, and my dad said he would go out and get us a great big tree. And then we got a letter from our grandma and grandpa up in Utah. They had been working in Utah, and they said that they were coming to Old Mexico to be there and have Christmas with us. Oh, I was so excited. I just could hardly wait because Grandpa and Grandma brought trunks and suitcases full of things, and we thought, oh my, I just could hardly wait. And Grandma was busy sewing, and we were still going to school, and it was just getting closer and closer to Christmas. Everybody was hustling and bustling around, and we had Christmas plays. We had little programs at school like you do. And then we'd come home at night after school, and we would pop corn to put on our big Christmas tree that my daddy got for us. And every year he'd get this big tree and put it right in the middle of our living room in front of the fireplace. And we'd string the popcorn and hang all around, make big loops all around. And then we would get thin red, white, and blue and green and all colored tissue paper and make chains. And we'd hang these chains all over. We didn't have any big silver tinsel or any balls or anything like that. So we just had to make our own thing. And we'd make little paper dolls, and we'd make popcorn balls, and we'd hang them on the tree. And that looked kind of pretty. And then we'd hang apples. You could string apples, take a big needle and stick right through the center of the apple. And then we'd hang each one of us an apple. And that made it look real pretty with the chains and the snowballs made out of popcorn and strings of popcorn all on the tree. Well, Christmas Eve finally came, and oh, I was still excited. My brothers and sisters were too, but I was the oldest one in the family, and they didn't realize what was going on as much as I did. And my grandmother Grandpa and Grandma Bingham came. They arrived, and oh, we were so happy to see them. And they stayed down at my aunt's and my uncle's, Uncle Steve and Aunt Ethel Farnsworth. They had the biggest house, but they also had more children than we did. Well, a few days before Christmas, Grandma'd say, "Come down, I want to try this on you and try that on you." And she was making me a dress. Oh, I was just really happy. She says, "We're going to have a Christmas program, and you're going to be one of the angels, a little angel, you and Lena." And we were going to be all dressed up in pretty little white dresses, like little Christmas angels. My dress had little tiny flowers all through it. It was mostly white. And Grandma made it. It was so cute. It had a ruffle around the bottom, ruffle on the sleeves, and it was kind of long. It come down almost to my ankles, maybe not quite. And then it had a little sash that went around and tied in the back, and just a little round neck. And I thought I was really dressed up nice. So we all went down to Aunt Ethel's, and Uncle Steve's, and all of the cousins came, and we all sat around in a circle. And my cousin Lena and I got dressed up in our white dresses, and we had tinsel crowns, made little crowns to put around on our hair. And we let our hair hang down long. We had long hair, and my mother curled it up so it'd be in ringlets. And I thought I looked so pretty because I have these ringlets on. Grandma also made us white shoes. Yes, Grandmother made little white shoes like little boots for us with a little ribbon in front for Lena and I to wear to match our dresses out of the same material, because we didn't have white shoes in those days, and we wore those with our dresses. And just as we got all dressed and ready, we heard jingle, 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 jingle outside. And here comes Santa Claus. And oh my, we were so excited. He came with a big sack on his back, and he brought it over to the tree. And our tree was a huge tree that reached nearly to the ceiling. It had candles all over it, and all of these chains and popcorn balls. And Grandma brought a lot of tinsel and hung it all over and draped it around with this these beautiful candles, and made it look so pretty. And when Santa Claus came, he brought his big sack full of candy and nuts and everything and toys, and put it by the tree. And then Lena and I helped him, and he'd say, "Take this one to little Teddy, take this one to Dora, and this one's for Johnny, and that one's for Emer, and this is for Van." And so we were delivering each member their little toys and their gifts. And oh my, we were all so happy, and we thought, oh, just to get a big orange and a big apple, that was a treat to us in those days. We didn't have a lot of toys. All we had was a little horn for the boys, and the girls got a little comb or a toothbrush or something like that, or maybe just a little tiny rag doll or some little thing like that. But we were really happy with this. Now we all sang songs around the tree, and Santa Claus said, "Ho, ho, ho," and he took his empty sack and out the door he went, because he couldn't go up the chimney because we had a big fire in the fireplace. So he had to go out the door, and he came in the door. So the children all followed him out the door, and by then it was getting dark, and we heard him leave. We got in his sleigh and we heard the jingle bells of the sleigh driving away through the night down the snowy road. Well, after that, we all had some nice hot punch, and we had homemade cake and cookies and homemade candy. We had Boston cream and fudge, and we had honey candy, and we had this kind of candy that just stretch, pull, and it's real hard. I forget what you call it. And it was, some was pink, and some was green, and some was yellow. It was just ordinary sugar candy that just stretch. I guess you call it taffy candy. But, oh, that was a treat to us. And we all went home happy that night. But the next morning, we got up and Daddy had the sleigh all ready for us, and he took us sleigh riding. We could take two of us at a time, and he would take us, and our horse had little jingle bell, and it was pulled by us. The sleigh was pulled by a horse, and he took us way down into the flat country where there weren't any houses or anything, and no roads or trees or anything. And then he would turn the horse around and around, and this horse would whirl around until we just laughed and hollered and screamed. It was so much fun whirling us around and around. Then he would take us home and take our two little brothers, and then he would take my mother, and then he would take some of the neighbor children, until we all had to ride in the sleigh. And it wasn't a real sleigh, it was just a scraper, they called it, that you could, like a great big shovel. But my dad had fixed it so that it looked like a sleigh, and he would put a seat in it, and only a couple of us little children could sit in beside our dad and hold on to the big rope in front that he made for us to hang on to. And that way we all got to ride. So that was my happiest Christmas. We've had a lot of other Christmases. And one Christmas I got a blue wagon, and that was so that I could haul wood. It was real happy, and it had a doll in the wagon. And oh, and then also there was a big, beautiful glass dish full of nuts and candy and popcorn balls, all kinds of goodies. And I took my brand new little wagon, and I would go down to my grandpa's house, and he would load it up with wood, and every day or so, and I would pull it home for my parents so we could have a big fire in the fireplace. And that's the way we used to do when I was a little girl. We didn't have very many things we didn't have big stores to go and buy things. We only had one store that we could buy groceries in, and that was just flour and salt and sugar and pepper and maybe some cloth and some thread and needles, and that's about all they had. So we had to make our own things. My mother would make us all kinds of things, and then mostly we'd get clothes for Christmas. But anyway, we had a very nice Christmas, and I hope you children have a lovely Christmas, and I hope this gets to you in time. We're so thankful that little Carol is feeling better, and everyone be real nice to her. We know you are, and kiss each other for us. We wish we could be there with you for Christmas, and we love you all. You're our sweet, precious children, and we love each of you. And remember, Grandpa and Grandma loves you, and I wish we could come and spend Christmas with you like my Grandpa and Grandma did, so you could be as happy. But you know, maybe some year you can come and see us again, and we'll be very happy to have you come and spend Christmas with us. Now, happy holidays, and keep well and strong and happy. Grandpa and Grandma loves you. Bye-bye for now, and have a happy new year.